It's time to put my favourite driver of all time up against an unpopular mini driver.
Oh, that was a rocket. Look how flat that flight is. That genuinely surprised me. Woo! Have a look at these numbers.
This one has a mixed bag of reviews, and today, I think everything could change.
Ah, hang on. I'm a little bit scared right now. There's that last ball speed. Woo! But that's some of the best ball speed numbers I have had. Whoa, pure mini driver season, isn't it? We've tested some cheap ones, we've tested some expensive ones, and now we're on to the Titleist mini driver for 2025. Now, I'm actually going to see how this compares. The GT280. Oh, look at it. Weight system in here. This is the face. Wow, that looks well deep. And then the very nice minimalistic look from the top. This looks a work of art. Let me get that off. Can you see how excited I am to take all this off? Come on. I'm a big fan of Titleist. I'm a big fan of a mini driver. Like I say, I've tested a lot. So yeah, back to the point, Alex. I'm getting a little bit distracted. I'm going to be testing it up against my current gamer. Now, I know I slagged this driver off at the start of the year, but it has been absolutely beautiful. So, first things to do. Let's hit 5 away with my current driver to get some ballpark figures to essentially see what we're competing against. Because if I'm gonna think about putting a mini driver in the bag, it's gotta be, well, longer than a 3 wood, but it's gotta be up there in terms of driver distance, because mini driver are for people that struggle with driver, want a little bit more loft at play, slightly shorter shaft, so slightly easier to control. But for me, my driver's good, so if I'm gonna put one in the bag, it's got to compete distance-wise, and I'm a little bit nervous about that because, well, anyway, it's a warm day. Let's get some stats. So here we go, my 5 shots away. First one was a little bit of a leak down the right, but nevertheless, that's going to happen. That is a shot that I hit, so we'll leave it in there in the stats, so it's a fair test. The next 4 were absolutely out the screws, down the alley, and a really good position here on the 15th. Now take a look where these finished down the fairway. I think this is important. I want to show you where they finish in real life, as well as the data, so you can actually see what actually happens if you were to take this out on the golf course. So, without further ado, the stats. Ball speed was 161 on average, my club head speed was 111 on average, my carry was 255. The reason why I'm not showing you the total, or not telling you the total, is because we can see where they ended up. So I hit all bright lime green Vice golf balls for my current driver, and I have the exact same golf ball in white here. Actually see what carry numbers we get, but also in real life, where does the golf ball finish? Tell you what, it is a stonking day. It is a stonking day to test some clubs. Right, let's hit the first shot away with this Titleist. You know what, it just looks like a beaut. It just looks like an absolute humdinger. I am gonna tee this slightly lower than I would with mine, because it is a mini driver. So I'm gonna tee it at what I would do mini driver height, which is what I would say is just slightly bigger than 3 wood. Right, first drive away with the mini driver from Titleist. Tell you what, that face looks big. I repeat that, the face looks big. The head doesn't look massive because it's a mini driver. Oh, that was a rocket. Look how flat that flight is. That genuinely surprised me. That was a little high in the face. That's up there, you know. That finishes up there. Woo! Have a look at these numbers. Now, it wasn't out the middle, but anyway, have a look at these. So we had a 103.9 club head speed, a 152 ball speed. Like I say, it was a little bit off the top of the face. And a 237 carry. That spin was a little low. You can just see there where I got it, because I just got it towards the top of the face there. In real life today, that's gonna be up there. I can see it, It's gonna be up there, right? Let's take a couple more away. And for reference, that's the tee height I've been using. That was stonking. That was really good. Oh, that's just as good. It's a little left. Ah, hang on. Give me some numbers. 242 carry. That was right out the middle. It might be a little tight down that left-hand side, that one. Having now hit a couple of shots away, I think the biggest compliment that I could give this club is that it's, well, the way I'd explain it is don't like teeing up by that, like, very Titleist in terms of the look of this face, like the lines, the minimalistic top crown with a slight little nod towards the GT family. And then the sole, again, extremely Titleist. Turns of numbers. I'm a little bit scared right now because that's seriously close to what I was hitting with my own driver. Now, the one thing that I would say, Titleist year on year, and let me know if you agree with this, they actually keep sort of true to the brand, whereas your likes of Callaway, your TaylorMade, Ping, you could also argue, stay true to the brand. And what I mean by that is, you know it's their kind of product from an absolute mile off, just because it looks very similar year on year. And, well, I quite like them for that. High-pitched, feels quite firm off the face, but very, very high-pitched. The way I describe how this sounds is very much like a 3-wood. By the way, there's that last ball speed. Woo! It's quite close. This also has a 3-wood length shaft in it. So you can see here, it's roughly around 1.5 inches shorter than what I have in my driver. And that would be very similar if this was in the same family as if you had a GT driver. Right, you know what, I'm really excited about this. Let's hit one more. Well, that's in fact, no, we're hitting 3 more, we're hitting 5 with each. Whoa, that's a little higher than normal. It's a beautiful shot though. So I do feel a little more accurate, and I've said this before with mini drivers, because they're shorter. And even though I've got this one set at 13 degrees, I don't feel it spinning too much. Like, the numbers are bob on from what I'd expect. In fact, what are them? Another 156 ball speed, 1.48 smash, 106 club head speed. That is a little down on the club head speed, I guess. I was gonna wait till the end for this, but I'm dying to do this. We've hit 3 away now. Let's actually see where these are finished in comparison to my driver in real life, not just the data. So the first shot, look where it's finished. It's literally neck and neck with my current driver. Yes, you heard that, neck and neck. The second one I hit was a little bit down the left, and I can't actually see this one, maybe a little bit in the rough, but I would guess it's very much neck and neck with this one because it was right out the screws. And the final one I hit, a little bit shorter up the right hand side, but still finding that semi, not in trouble. So overall, I would say right now the dispersion is very similar. We had a little bit up the right with my current driver, and then some stonking ones down that fast alley, which is where that dark stripe is on the fairway. Yeah, I would say it's very, very similar right now in terms of distance and dispersion. I would want to see if I was going to make a change to a mini driver, that dispersion come in. But let's hit 2 more so we can actually compare this properly. I have to say, I am a really big fan of how this looks down behind the golf ball. It's very sleek, very minimalistic, very Titleist, but that's what I really like. That 280cc head does look beautiful. Almost like a little bit of a work of art down behind the ball. Right, here we go. Last 2 balls, and then I'm gonna take a wander down there myself because I'm actually dying to see where they're finished. I know we just saw that, but let's hit these final 2. And the big thing that I'm questioning right now is this more accurate? If it is more accurate, then it's definitely a contender to go in the bag. Also, I mentioned at the start, I've tested a lot of mini drivers. Let me know if you actually want to see the most expensive, the cheapest, the middle of the range, all up against each other in, I guess, what we would call the year of the mini driver battle. If you are enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Let's do it! Let's do it. Final 2 away. Come on. Some good shots here, Alex. Humdinger. Beautiful. Down that alley. Woo! 234 carry. That would run like mad though, that one. That one would run like mad. And final ball. Whoa, pure. That is good. That's long. So let's take a look where we are. So here I'm approaching the first golf ball. This is a white one, so this is a mini driver. Okay, the next one is here, and again this is a mini driver. Now this looks pretty much level with the next golf ball that I've got, which is right here. This next golf ball is my Callaway driver, so one a little bit shorter, and then we've got literally in a row right here, this is my driver. This is now a mini driver. This is now my driver. And then we've got another one just over here, which is my driver. So we've got 3 with each. I did hit a 2 with each that were a little bit pulley, and maybe because it's fast and because it's firm, they've sort of ended up around here. So yeah, I guess not in a great spot. But overall, I would say it's pretty much neck and neck. Let's go through these averages. Now, I will add this, we did lose 2 golf balls with each of them. So in terms of dispersion and today, I would say there is not a lot in it. In fact, nothing in it. We'd have to say it was pretty much the same. I don't know where they actually ended up. Anyway, to the numbers. Okay, let's remind you of my own numbers. My own average ball speed was 161. My own average club head speed was 111, and my own average carry was 255. Now, where these golf balls ended up was pretty similar in a line. Overall, in total, I would say my driver just edged it because there was one just a little further back with the Titleist GT. But without further ado, these are the average numbers I got with the Titleist GT280 Mini driver. 155 average ball speed, 104 average clubhead speed, and a 238 average carry. So all slightly down. So if I'm looking at this as a club that I should put in the bag, it's probably not. But I do say this though. You're probably thinking, well, who's it for? Well, if you're a die-hard Titleist fan and you're not getting on with a driver, then yes, this could be for you. Also, I would say this, it does feel like it's extremely fast and extremely good off the face. And I would say this, I do need to do this test, but that's some of the best ball speed numbers I have had on the mini drivers of 2025. I do need to do an overall test to confirm this, but knowing of what I've done in the past this year to what we've done here, this is around 2 or 3 miles an hour faster. So my point is, if you're someone who's struggling with driver, wants something that's more accurate, but still has a lot of good ball speed features, I think this GT is definitely a cracker. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.